Absolutely. You talk about a team that doesn't have a championship core, to have confidence. This is this Giants bunch. Only 2 players on the roster even have the Super Bowl ring from the Eli Manning years. That's Eli. And shout out to an Ivy Leaguer, Zach Diassi. That's right, Brown University, we represent. Everybody else, y'all bums. Y'all didn't win a Super Bowl with the Giants. But let's talk about that confidence that comes from an Eagles team. Even if they lose to the Giants, the Eagles are sitting there saying, championship material still here. Hey, we're in a weak division. We can overcome. But if the Giants lose, they start to crumble, especially with all the heat and criticism that's coming their way and inspiration, maybe you want to call, from Odell Beckham Jr. Yeah, this is must-win for the Giants bunch.
Pat Shurmur in his first year, I just don't see a lot of pressure on the Giants. No expectations coming into the season. They can blame everything on Eli. If I'm the Eagles and I start off 2-4, coming off a Super Bowl, and all the tall trash they talked the entire offseason, they got to start backing it up tonight, or there's real problems in Philadelphia.
I would agree with you. I think when you look at the Super Bowl hangover that we talked about earlier, you're seeing that. You're seeing the offense that's a shell of itself, the defense not playing up the part, the injuries that have occurred with the team. They don't look like the same team that's won the championship. And they're getting every team that they play best effort. They're getting the best shots because they know this is a Super Bowl champ. So I'm going to pick the Eagles in this game, but no road team has won on Thursday night this season. So I look for them to beat the Giants at home.
I think the 1-4 Giants have all the pressure and desperation. This is a must-win game for them because, 1-5, you're not coming out that hole. Also, Eli Manning has all that pressure on him. People have been talking about him for 2 weeks nonstop about he is the problem. He is the issue with that offense. And I believe it's right. When you look at the weapons that they have, there's no reason why this team shouldn't be hanging 30 points on everybody. Offensive line notwithstanding, they have weapons on the outside. It is about number 10, his inability to get the ball out of his hands, his inability to push the ball down the field. He knows it, but he walks into this game with a lot of confidence.
Though.
Didn't he do it last year and got benched and got the coach fired?
He did.
New York's not going to do anything to get rid of Eli. Eli's going to be there. So you have to, as the coach, this year.
Yeah,
you have to, as Pat Shurmur, you have to devise a plan to protect him. The offensive line is bad. You have to keep backs and tight ends in the chip to keep people from getting to Eli because he is afraid. He's been afraid as a quarterback. He invented the hook pass. He can throw a pass and slide on his back. He's always been afraid. Right. This is nothing new. But when they fired the coach last year and said, we're keeping Eli, and now we're bringing Shurmur in because he's supposed to be a guy that got cleaned up in Minnesota where he had a really good running game and the #1 defense in the league, to now get him this head coaching job, this offense is not going to go unless he can keep Eli upright.
I just think Eli's done, though.
He's done.
He's done.
He's been done.
He's shell-shocked.
But
shell-shocked.
He's brought him 2 championships. You can't throw him out the door.
But I'm saying...
yeah, he's a made man. He's a made man.
Man, he has been done since 2015.
But I'm saying this is his last season with the Giants. I think he's done. So I don't see any pressure. If Eli comes out and throws for 4,000 yards the rest of this year, I still think he's done. I think
not the future anymore.
Yeah, he's not. It's over. They have to draft a quarterback next year. That's why I just don't see any real pressure on Eli. Pat Shurmur, first-year coach. Everybody, Odell, the whole entire organization can blame everything that happens this season on Eli Manning.
But at the same time, if you're Eli Manning, you're maybe auditioning for your next opportunity if you don't retire, so there's pressure on you.
The broadcast booth?
That's
his next opportunity.
He doesn't have to audition for that.
Yeah.
That is Eli Manning. He's getting that job, right? And then you got to think about Odell putting all the pressure on his team. There's some individuals out there who are highly motivated to start getting this on track.
We got to move on. Praise could just be a Belichick mind game because since the Gillette Stadium opened in 2002, quarterbacks under the age of 25 are just 1-41 against Belichick's Patriots. The one winner, my guy Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Hey. All right, Marcellus.
Yes, sir.
Do you think Belichick will humble Mahomes tonight, Sunday night?
No, not at all. If Kaepernick stole his fro, you know you stole that. I'm just letting you know. You look amazing. No, he won't humble Mahomes. As Trent Dilfer always says, you can't defend the perfect pass, man. And there are more times than not he throws the perfect pass at the perfect timing, perfect anticipation into the great coverage that's set up by Andy Reid, the genius, and all these weapons. I'm just going to lay this out simply for people. Last year, this team was good, and they walked into New England week 1 and spanked them boys. It was 42-27. They had Alex Smith. And then they had every other weapon that they have now, except now they have Sammy Watkins. Okay, so there's a better offense on paper and a better quarterback. And you spanked this same team last year. Chances are you're going to have some success against them this year. I don't think he gets humbled.
I'm going to be quick because I want to hear from Brian. He's coached with the Patriots, or he's a Bill Belichick robot. I want to hear what you have to say. I'm nervous. I got to be honest. The numbers scream Bill Belichick is hell on young quarterbacks. And so I'm nervous and scared. Whatever happens Sunday night, Patrick Mahomes is still the best young quarterback in football.
Yes.
And he's still going to be great. But I am a little scared of Bill Belichick.
Well, to Marcellus' point, when you look at the number of points that they hung up last year, they got the same surrounding cast around Mahomes. I'm going to give some love to Eric Bieniemy because everybody's talking about Andy Reid, but Eric Bieniemy was the running back coach that they made the offensive coordinator. Andy Reid is working more in hand with Patrick Mahomes, but Bieniemy sees the run game as well as the pass game, and he's been able to mix it up. You see him and Andy Reid having dialogue on the sideline, but you see Bieniemy making the calls. I think that he's infused a little bit more into this offense because he knows the run game as the running back coach, and they're more run-minded, but he's come up with some plays that have been outstanding. I'm saying that Kansas City's winning Sunday night.
I'm glad you gave a shout-out to Eric Bieniemy because I was planning to do so because he doesn't get enough credit. Everyone is talking about Andy Reid and what Andy Reid has done. Eric Bieniemy has certainly infused a level of toughness with this offense. But when you look at this matchup, speed, it all goes to Kansas City, their athleticism, and they don't fear the Patriots. They've beaten the Patriots a number of times in the Andy Reid tenure. I believe the Kansas City Chiefs exposed the Patriots' lack of athleticism and speed in this matchup.
You don't think there's anything to this? I mean, Bill Belichick is dominant against quarterbacks under 25.
And he does it, but he doesn't have the horses that can match it with all the speed elements. The only way I can see the Patriots doing this is if they use their offense to be their best defense, meaning they play turtle pace on offense. They control it. We've seen the last couple of weeks, they've been running more two-back sets. Sony Michel running the ball. They've been controlling the tempo. It reminds me of the early 2000 Patriots when they were able to just kind of slow the game down and help their defense. If they do it that way, they can keep Pat Mahomes on the sideline. But in terms of matching up defense versus Kansas City's offense, no chance.
Yeah, it's weird when you start hearing statistics and the numbers, and we've all been there where we got to play with the numbers, and you say, well, against quarterbacks under 25. But if you're a quarterback facing the Patriots under 25, it has no effect because, one, that's not me, and two, no defense is better based on my age. Like, it's based on my performance. So I don't see too many quarterbacks under 25 that shows the same talent level, skill set, moxie as a Patrick Mahomes. So if I'm Patrick Mahomes, I'm not dissuaded by that.
There's not things Belichick can do that confuse a young quarterback.
He can do some things to confuse, but, you know, to Bucky's point, how you going to match up with Kelsey? Both McCarty brothers are too slow to cover him, so you're going to have to double-team him. And then that leaves Tyreek Hill. I don't know if Sammy Watkins going to play with the hamstring injury or whatnot, but they have speed, whether it's Connolly or whoever they bring in. They got speed at all positions. If you double-team Kansas City's two best weapons, your ones or threes can't cover their other receiver and running back.
Yeah, they got Black Mamba out there, fourth receiver, man. Come on, man.